Sweet treat lovers rejoice because I have figured out all of the sweet treats that you'll ever need to stay your calorie deficit, okay? So I don't know why I bought this keto mix. I'm not even keto, but I saw it in the store, was like, let's try it out. The people may want to know about this. So it was pretty simple. You dip the mix in there with some melted butter, it said, but since I'm not keto, I did light margarine, and you just go over that with some water and mix it up. It was pretty dry, but it did come together. And yes, I did have to taste it because I'm a curious little kitty sometimes. So yeah, you have to portion these out into 11, and I just happened to do that, so it's like, am I a genius? But anyway, yeah, that's the serving size is 11 cookies, and it gives you the calories and everything, but I don't remember what they are. They were pretty high for like a healthier cookie, but it tasted good. So yeah, I would definitely recommend to buy this if you're not a baker. But if you be in that kitchen like me, you definitely need to try out these protein cookies because you could give these to somebody who doesn't even like the taste of protein powder, and they'll be like, yeah, this is still a fire cookie. The pro tip is to use both casein and whey. I'm doing equal parts for this recipe, so if you have a whey casein blend that you can find, use that instead. I'm also going to be using butter extract flavoring in my light margarine because it doesn't have enough butter flavor for me, and I really like the butteriness of a cookie. So I'm going to add that in the extract, and it's not going to add any extra calories or anything, even though it's that really yellow color, but it really gives that flavor that you're really looking for. Also, not all sugar replacements are created equally, so I'm using a brown sugar substitute. This one is erythritol, but sometimes you can find like the monk fruit ones. So you may have to play around with your sweetness if you're going to use something like that as well. And I know you don't want to hear me say this, but you are going to want to chill this cookie down. It just helps develop the flavors. Like that's for any cookie really, but really with this, it really lets that protein powder absorb up so you're not just hit with that straight off the bat. So once it chills for a little bit, you just put it on your tray. I did about 12, I believe, and you just want to flatten them down a little bit because they're not going to spread on their own as much. And personally, I feel like these taste better than the keto cookie mix, but maybe it's just me. But no, I do think that these are a great option because they're so low in calories for the amount of protein that you're getting as well. So if you're a snacker, I would definitely suggest trying this one out. Now for this last recipe, I don't know why I was in dummy mode, okay? Like I was going crazy in the kitchen with this one. So we've all been seeing the protein bagels, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I can use a protein bagel dough to make cinnamon rolls. And I was like, not only do I want to make them cinnamon rolls, I'm gonna make them sweet potato pie flavored cinnamon rolls, okay? So I did half and half for the yogurt and the sweet potato. And then some sugar substitute and baking powder for the leavener is what goes in. And we're just going to use regular flour. I know that there's other flour variations you can use. I'm just using all purpose for this. This is one of those recipes where I will suggest to you to get a kitchen scale. Baking with kitchen scales is always going to be the best bet because you can know exactly what you're going to get each time. It'll look like you do not have enough flour or yogurt sometimes when you're making this dough. But just keep kneading. Just keep going. Don't add anything unless you've been kneading for a little while and it's not working. So I did need to rest this dough since I was actually kneading it, and it gets a little like it'll spring back when you're trying to flatten it out. So just put it in the refrigerator for a little bit, and while that's resting, you can start making filling that goes inside. And look, I did add the butter extract to the filling. Don't really do that. It didn't really give what I was wanting to give. I should have put it in the dough. But yeah, I kind of just seasoned with whatever little spices felt like I would put in my sweet potato pie because I couldn't remember. And mixed that up, and I had to let it sit for a little bit because that extract made it separate a little bit more than I wanted. And again, we're going in with some more of this Brown sugar substitute. You use the one that you like, but since there's like no egg in what we're doing here, you can feel free to taste to see if you want to make it a little bit sweeter or a little less sweeter, depending on what brand you're using. This one that I have is just the HEB brand. I'm sure that there are plenty others out there. Honestly, in this place, you also could probably use a liquid sweetener, but just not too much, like an allulose would go fine in here, I believe, because you really just want it to give that ooey ooey texture in the middle, you know? And yeah, regular cinnamon roll behavior. Put the filling on. Honestly, I should have cut this into strips and rolled them up one by one, but for whatever reason, I thought that I had some business rolling this all up into a log like a crazy person. Child, I had stuff spilling out everywhere, so I had to stuff the middle right back in there because we're not gonna be wasting. And honestly, I did have a lot more filling than I needed, and what I did was saved it, used it for a little toast in the morning. That was good as well. Also, very low in calorie because we are crafty over here, you know? And I did do a little testers, because I made these in the air fryer. I don't know if I said that. These were made in the air fryer. I just wanted to make sure I had the temperature right, so I took those little ugly ends off, cooked those first, and oh Lord, they were so good. I could not wait to make the rest of that pan. I made it in a little cast iron because that's what I had that fits in my air fryer, but you can make them in whatever air fryer container you have. I would not suggest just raw dogging it and putting it in there at the bottom because those little holes will make indentations and your filling will be looking everywhere.